Hi guys, CeeChronicles here. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, I post fragrance related content on this platform and invite you to subscribe and join the family. Guys, it is free, but helps with ensuring that the channel is then recommended to a lot of people, especially if you subscribe and then you like and then you share. Now, if you're returning, thank you so much guys for coming back. I have a special shout out that I'm going to do somewhere in between this video. There's a channel that I discovered. I'm going to give that channel a shout out and ask you guys to go and follow. But before then, let's get into the video of today. Today I have a couple of vanilla fragrances, vanilla forward fragrances in front of me right now, and I want to recommend some of these vanilla fragrances to you guys and tell you what is doing what. The first one's going to be from the house of Arabiat, and this is La Di Da. This is actually my fragrance of the day paired with Proud Mary, okay? And the combo of La Di Da and Proud Mary is just flowy, okay? It's kind of like not really doing much. It just kind of anchors the vanilla in this. Now, back to why I have La Di Da as the first one. I came with an Arabiat haul and I said I was going to give you a follow-up of what the fragrances are doing. This one has got a male counterpart. It's called La Di Da for him, but this one's for her. Now, this is a double dose of vanilla, but it doesn't list 2 doses of vanilla. It actually lists a note of vanilla, and then it gets into benzoin, okay? Vanilla is going to be the anchor, and the benzoin in this interprets, again, is like a warm, vanilla-ish, type of situation happening there. It lists a note of raspberry, but I wouldn't purchase this one, for a fruity kick. Although it does, list a note of raspberry, and then it's list a note of sweet notes like candy and stuff. And the mid of it is built by white florals, which is a tuberose, the rose, and some other, florals. So this is going to be a vanilla kick with a little bit of a citrusiness there at the top, and then it gets into that floral, but we don't leave the vanilla. We continue with the vanilla anchoring everything all through, becoming a rounded sort of like flawless vanilla. That raspberry burst or promise does not stay. It's sort of like in the same vein, guys, as Tom Ford's vanilla. Okay, if you know that fragrance, you know it. It is very flowy and can, for some, even be anosmic because it just becomes like a nice, warm, pacifying vanilla sort of thing. And that's what you get from this. However, it's not an outright clone to that vanilla by Tom Ford, okay? It's not an outright clone. It's kind of like a twist. If you like that Tom Ford, you're gonna love this one. This is the first recommendation, guys. If you're looking for a nice, warm, subtle vanilla, smooth, then you can try La Di Da from the house of Arabiat. Now, the next one, guys, sort of in the same vein as Drunken Lovers or Drunk Lovers by Born to Stand Out, is going to be this again from the house of Arabiat, and this is going to be the last one. So we're not just going to be talking about the house of Arabiat on its own. This is a vanillin fragrance and some booze. Now, Arabiat didn't put the note of cognac, which is what I get in Drunk Lovers, but there is like an uncanny similarity. This one, Mah Al Dahab, again comes in a line. There is a line of this. You're gonna get the pink one, the silver one, blah blah blah. They're not like a continuation of each other. This is your vanilla in a flowy, embery feel, okay? You're gonna have a citrus top, and then you're gonna have the mixed spices, and then the vanilla comes into the mix. With that vanilla, there's going to be like a creamy sandalwood there, okay? This is at par with that Drunk Lovers, except for the fact that the Arabiat one does not list the note of cognac. So do expect a little bit of some booziness in this fragrance, but the promise of the vanilla is indeed going to live up to a lot of people's expectations. A nice, smooth vanilla in a boozy undertone. So this one is Mar Al Dahab, okay, the second one on the lineup. And then again, keeping to the theme of boozy fragrances, if you're looking for a boozy, like a drunken boozy vanilla in patchouli, I have this bottle in front of me so that I remember, I just made sure that I do remember, have this bottle like in my face so that I remember to recommend December Vanilla by the House of Paris Corner. So please, I am not talking about this fragrance. I am talking about December Vanilla, the one inspired or an inspiration to patchouli, to Vanilla Royale Sugar Patchouli by Keali. If you're looking for a vanilla in booze and a lot of spices, mixed there, the cinnamon, the cloves, the black pepper, that sort of thing, in vanilla and woods, and of course a good dose of caramel. Then certainly get yourself December vanilla. I no longer have it because I actually used it up. So yeah, that is the third one, guys. Remember, I was not talking about this, but the one I'm talking about is off this line, and it's in a bottle like this, but the bottle color is cream. Okay, now as we move on, I did show you a sneak peek of Proud Mary. This is my own creation, guys, and I'm going to mention it as one of those fragrances with a flowy vanilla. That is what I was going for in Proud Mary. And why I said the combo, because this is my fragrance of the day. Why I said the combo is not doing much is because this is also very vanillin forward, and you know, this one, though having the fruity top and then the floral and stuff, really doesn't do much in terms of a combo. But if you are looking again for a flowy vanilla, then you could consider purchasing Proud Mary. It's still available on www.macedonperfumes.com. You can still use my code C15 at checkout, or you can purchase it directly here on YouTube. I'm going to link it, right? Proud Mary is straight deeper for my own creation, and what we did with the vanilla in this was to make sure that it ties everything together. So in as much as this is going to have a fruity top with a pineapple and dried fruit, the top is not the one that anchors this fragrance. So it's not top heavy. It's just going to have that, sort of like a tease of a fruitiness, and then it gets into jasmine and some florals. But what makes everything flow together and be in sync and in tandem is the use of the vanilla in here. The vanilla, of course, is joined by the tonka and some woods in a dry down, but undoubtedly this is going to be one of those flowy scents with the vanilla, blended in such a way that it unifies everything. So this is Proud Mary Extrait de Parfum, in case you're looking for something from me to you, or perhaps something, for Valentine's, if you know what I mean. Okay, now next up, guys, is going to be Velvet Gold from the house of Orientica. Now we do have a version of this in other brands like Fragrance World. They gave us Gentle Gold. This Velvet Gold is inspired or draws inspiration from Gentle Fluidity Gold by MFK. Now, that's one hell of a good vanilla fragrance, and undoubtedly so, Orientica did their best here. So if the price point is not a deterrent, and you're looking for something that's almost identical, almost unmistakably identical, then you can purchase this one. This one's note pyramids undoing is going to be that listing of I think they've said they have put the violet note in here, and for those that judge fragrances based off of notes, and if you look at the color of this bottle, you may think this is going to go like in the musky, even powdery direction, which is something that is highlighted especially in some fragrances that use that note of violet. And to top it up, this one also lists the note of powder separately, but what I get is one of the most beautiful flowy vanillas in a bottle. So if you're looking for a good take on a Gentle Fluidity Gold, something vanillin in caramel, then this is one of the good Orienticas out there, guys. It is called Velvet Gold. Velvet Gold, okay? And then we have Rifahat, okay? I have been seeing Rifahat for years. This Rifahat, if you're looking for vanilla in spice, if you're looking for vanilla, guys, in that ginger, I'm actually even tempted to just spray it on top of this La Di Da. Let's see what it does. Okay, now I'm gonna have 3 fragrances on me. Remember I said Proud Mary is my scent of the day, and then La Di Da. Now I've sprayed this. Okay, this is kind of like a heavyweight. This is sort of like pushing everything aside, but that could be because I've just sprayed it. So this may tone down eventually, I don't know. But Rifahat, guys, if you're looking for a spicy vanilla that dries down woody, spicy in that black pepper mixed with the red pepper, but mostly black pepper, then this is for you. This is a nice woody vanilla scent. Okay, draws inspiration, of course, off that Baby Cat by YSL, but that is a fragrance that's unisex, and that's what Paris Corner kept to here. This is a unisex scent. It does have some intensity to it, like a richness to it because of the woods and that sweetness. I feel this one is an easy one. It's going to be an easy one to carry. Perhaps if you have used a lot of fragrances, you're not going to find it super difficult perhaps to pull it off. So that was Rifahat, guys. And then we have tobacco and coke. This one has elements that you will get in Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, okay? And Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille has something that kind of vibes as well, like it's got star anise, okay? And I think in this, that's where it's a little bit different, okay? I'm not saying it has star anise, but I'm saying the Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford to me is a little bit on the pushy side, very tobacco forward, heavy, very woody. And this to me interprets as a softened feel of that fragrance, more wearable, okay? This is a fragrance world fragrance that is called Tobacco and Coke. This one does incorporate that note of coke, and I think it's the one that actually softens things. Of course, it's a synthetic coated coke, not the actual Coca-Cola, but there is something in here that is gonna remind you of that Coca-Cola, honestly, and it is that Coca-Cola note in tobacco, and then drying down sweet and vanillin. So do check this one out and then let me know. Now remember, I did say I was going to give a shout out. I don't want to give a shout out at the end in case some of you guys leave. I discovered this most comforting, most beautiful channel, a breath of fresh air. This mom and daughter combo. All right. And no, this is not paid or anything. I find myself looking forward to their videos. Like, when are you going to post the next one? Okay. Now, I was minding my own business and then YouTube recommended this duo to me. The channel is called Essence of _ fragrance. Essence of _ fragrance. I'm going to put their link in the description. Guys, let us go and subscribe massively to them and let us see them grow. There is this young lady, her name is Essence, okay, this princess. She has this magnificent energy and she describes fragrances in the most concise way, in the most comprehensive way, okay? And I love the fact that I haven't so far seen a video where she has described a fragrance in a way I'd say, you know, so she has a good nose, right? So it's a mom and daughter combo. She's in charge of that channel. I just put in the comment section, I said, Essence is the boss, right? On that channel, I think the comments have been disabled, which is what YouTube does anyway for channels that have kids, okay? But guys, go and subscribe, come back here, tell me what you think. That young lady, she is going to be one of the best, you know, fragrance reviewers or fragrance. So beautiful channel, shout out to them. Please, let's subscribe. The last time I checked, they were on 50 something subscribers. So if we can try and push the numbers there, okay, even if it's not the sort of content that you like, just let's try to push the numbers. The little princess is in charge, and I am super sure that that is going to be a channel that is super deserving to grow for little Essence. So shout out to Essence of _ fragrances, that I'm going to, of course, put the channel in the description as well as I would have put it on the side of the screen. Now, moving on, guys, to another vanilla. We have Vanilla Dunes from the House of Khadlash. Now, this fragrance I didn't really talk much about because it became one of those that came a little bit, just a tad bit too late for this DNA. This is an interpretation to that Altair, but in this, and by Altair I mean the Perfumes de Mali one. In this I get sort of like a chocolate accord. Let me just spray it again to see if I still get that. But yeah, I do get like a chocolate accord in this. And I think that is the swing that Khadlash decided to use in this, a praline note. It's not really like gonna list a note of dark chocolate per se, but it does have praline, and that praline is in vanilla and it's in cinnamon. This is a gorgeous vanilla scent. Of course, if you like that Parfums de Mali Altair, you're gonna like this. This is not so much on the spicy side, but sweet, okay? And this is going to be a gourmand that is suitable for both men and women. We are almost done, guys. I am left with 3, okay, one being Sharaf, and then the other one is in its box. So let me just put it close to me. Sharaf Divine by Zibaya. This is another one I decided to bring here to give you a follow-up of what it's now doing. We did do a full review of Sharaf. This one draws inspiration of that Angel's Share Paradise. I think, okay, Angel Shea Paradise. So I did say I was going to come back to you and tell you my thoughts. Zimayas, don't sleep on the Zimayas, guys. Good fragrances, and the value or the price is great. So this is going to unmistakably, of course, have that Angel Shea DNA. But if you have used the Angel Shea in Paradise and wonder why Mr. Killian himself did that, the follow-up of the Paradise and On the Rocks, the Paradise in particular has got that fruity note that makes it really beautiful to carry, okay? And if I'm not mistaken, that fruit is a raspberry in cinnamon, and of course we get that cognac, and then you have the vanilla. So this is not too spicy heavy, although it is spicy. Not too spicy heavy. It becomes a sweetened version of that Angel Shea, with of course the pop of that juicy raspberry note and everything infused there in a vanilla. Next up, guys, and I haven't used this one much, but I wanted to also give you an update on it because it has macerated. This is Zenith Vanilla, okay, from the house of French Avenue. I did tell you that I had two from French Avenue. I have sprayed one part of it on my body, and of course we're gonna spray again on the blotter. Now this is a vanilla in Styrax, right? A vanilla in some citrus, if I'm not mistaken, candied orange. Now this is their interpretation of Diorama by Dior. Now that fragrance, if you know, you know, okay, it's popular for a reason. One of the nicest vanillas there on the market, and this is French Avenue's take on it. It does list the note of rum. Okay, so you are to expect a little bit of a booziness in this, but I like the fact that the booziness in this does not become the center of the show. So this is not going to be a fragrance that's going to have you moving around smelling like booze. Okay, it's going to anchor the vanilla, and that same vanilla is going to again have that benzoin that interprets as vanillin as well. So double dose of vanilla in this is what the nose is going to perceive in an underlying, you know, candid citrus there. It's the second from the last, guys. It is called Zenith Vanilla from the house of French Avenue. Now last but certainly not least, guys, is going to be Spanish Vanilla. This one is underrated. This is your vanilla in the milk, okay, lactonic vanilla actually. So this is going to have an element of creaminess to that vanilla. I think it just has 3 notes listed on the pyramid, which is the vanilla, milk, and the sugar, and that is exactly what you are going to perceive or smell in this fragrance. But I like the fact that in as much as it does have that milky, you know, undertone to it, it doesn't end up being a creamy, like super Gourmand creamy type of a fragrance. And by this I mean it doesn't push that milkiness so much to an extent that it's, you know, you could perhaps say this is lactonic. I wouldn't put this one under lactonic fragrances, but yes, it does have a creamy aspect to that vanilla, and that creaminess also could be coming from perhaps sandalwood. I don't know. It doesn't list a note of sandalwood. It actually does outright list a note of milk, but this is one of those underrated. Very little is said about this fragrance, Spanish Vanilla, guys, from the house of Orientica. And if you know, you know, Orientica is one of those houses that are underrated, but sometimes they do drop some gems there, like that French coffee. Yeah, so do check them out. No, this is not sponsored. This is just a recommendation, and it's the last one, guys, on the lineup. C Chronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember to turn on post notifications. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Also remember, Proud Mary is still available. You can purchase it right here on YouTube or on our TikTok store under Macedon Perfumes on TikTok. If you want to purchase it on TikTok, it's under Macedon Perfumes. If you want to purchase it on Instagram, it's on my page, C Chronicles, or on our Macedon page. And then right here on YouTube, I have the store linked. There's going to be a pop-up as I talk, and you can purchase this. Just remember to use the code C15 for a discount. And again, it is a great vanilla. Also, guys, check out Essence of Fragrance. Shout out to them. Let us subscribe, and you could come back here and tell me if you have dropped your subscription there. And of course, let's see that channel grow. And no, I do not know them personally. I just find that the channel is a breath of fresh air. Stay safe, be blessed, love you as always, and remember, guys, that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.